All right, what is up, guys? So I recently got a request to make a video kind of going over how to use the Asteroids belt indicator for those who purchased it from Spaceman Bitcoin. You'll see it, I know you guys see it all in my charts. I always use it. I'm just going to kind of go into what my mindset is when I use it and how you can use the indicator to either scalp on low time frame or to find resistances on high time frame, bottoms, stuff like that. Just kind of a little tutorial for everyone who just started using it. And for those who don't, so you can more understand the charts that I post in Barney charts, etc. So to start off, if you did, you should definitely watch the tutorial that Spaceman made. It's on his YouTube. It should be in the link section when you signed up. Um, kind of goes over the principles, but I will go over them here as well and how to trade it. So first off, this is a beautiful chart. This is the run up of Solana today from our entry, our trend line. Literally tapped it twice, was tapping a few times, go, this is the 5 minutes, so, you know, low time frame, but gave us the perfect entry here. As you guys know, I've been long since $82 for like a week or now. I sold a lot around $100, kind of re-added at 87. So I've just been managing that position because my break even was like $75, and I felt comfortable allowing that to ride to my 114 target. Which didn't quite hit, but close enough, right? So yeah, let's get into it. So Asteroids belt. So mine, I changed the colors. This is supposed to be green. I'm just going to explain each part of it. So this is the top. Um, so in a very bullish trend, if you're, we're trending bullish since we're on low time frame, you can see it perfectly. You're going to, whenever it bounces or taps the top level, that is a sign that it is the bottom and you should go long there. So as you can see, kind of came up, you know, came here. This was the bottom, go long, retapped it again, and again here. Came up to that resistance, came back down. So whenever it's tapping the top, that is where you go long. So this is for quick scalps since I'm on a 5 minute, but it really shows how beautifully it's been trending. Now the middle line, that is like, okay, it's on a very strong bullish trend, but it's still bullish. So if it was to come down here, it looks like we're starting to have some exhaustion here. If you go on high time frame, I have this downtrend that just so happens to be where our resistance is. We're starting to show some exhaustion. This is where I would expect to bounce. We take out this low, 107 would be where I would want it to bounce and go long. Um, Now, if the trend is still bullish, the bottom level will always be the bottom of, before another leg up. So if it came all the way down here, this would be where I want to go long. Now, say it did, and we kind of came down here, down, and then down to this bottom level here. We bounced, but we started treating this midline as resistance, then that is a signal to get out because it looks like this is going to turn red. Now, it's difficult for me to explain this because we're on a 5 minute interval, but I just kind of wanted to show you how it works. So now there's multiple settings. As you guys know, I always have it on slow mode because I just feel that's what works best for me. It's the most accurate. You can see here, whoops, what is going on? Apologize. Let's just delete that. This is in the way. All right. So the exact same thing is accurate for a bearish trend. So see, before this started turning green, I'll go over how, it was bullish and you should have went long here in a minute. Um, but so in a bearish trend, it's the exact opposite. So the bottom level will always be your resistance, um, and where you want to short. So that'll be the top. So here, resistance, resistance, wicked above it a little bit, kind of near the mid level, back down. Same thing. We had that cascade from 95 down to 91, back up. Same thing here. So this was my trend that I've been talking about that I've had since we were at $6, and even when we were at 150, I was predicting we would retest it. Just beautiful, like that just makes me so happy, dude. Looking at that, I'm gonna show you a 3-day, kind of just to show you how beautiful that is. So that trend's going off of when we were like $2 to the high when we were 14. We came here, we were treating it as resistance back in the bear market in July, finally broke above it, had this huge extension, and now here we are. So yeah, it's really beautiful to see, when you make a plan for yourself and it work out. They don't always work out, but when they do, it's definitely nice. So we'll go back to that 5 minute, just kind of to explain what we were looking at before. So yeah, so resistance, short, you know, you don't really have any levels to take profit, besides like lines you're making. My trend, for example, this is just for quick scalps. So you're looking for a trade you don't want to be in for more than like an hour or two. Your target for profit is like you want to start taking profit after like a 1% move in your direction, 2%, etc. So you can kind of see the switches here. This one shows like a medium bull trend, like we kept breaking out, retesting the mid level as support again, 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 again. Had that extension, started treating the top as support, but it was a fake out. We collapsed from 100 down to 93, but we've been treating this level here as, support, broke below it. That was bearish, a retest, failed. So yeah, this is kind of difficult to go over because there's so much going on a 5 minute interval, but I just wanted to show you. So, okay, what happens when we're way above the trend? You know what I mean? Because we're just trending this whole way up without tapping it at all. That's where the Comet Coloring comes in. So, Comet Coloring is the other indicator that is included in his package. It kind of just shows momentum. So even though you see these candles are, they're going down, but they're still green, it's just showing that we still had bullish momentum here. Yellow kind of means it's starting to die down a little bit, but then, turn green again, and we had that next leg up. That indicator also includes this midline. So this is not a moving average line I have. It's part of the Comet Coloring indicator. And in times like this, you could see that you just could keep longing the line every time, take profit, or even if you went here for a 5 minute play from 99 to 101, that's 2% profit. You know what I mean? So just very quick scalps, way above it. Same thing here. And then we finally came back down to retap it. And we've been doing so now. So this is high time frame resistance at this 114. It's also this downtrend that I have. Oops. From all-time high. And there you go. So, okay, so now I've gone over kind of the basics of Asteroids Belt on a 5 minute time frame. And now I want to kind of go into high time frame because the 5 minutes only good if you're scalping or you're just wanting to manage a position, kind of see how the daily price action is going. It doesn't really tell a story to where we're going long term. While 4 hour and above does. So this is my downtrend for the daily of Solana. As you can see, resistance, reject, broke above, fake out, December 3rd flash crash, took out the low. This, I was super bullish. I remember you guys, we all made a fuck ton of money. This is the daily Asteroids belt on slow mode. We literally tapped it twice, had that move up from 150 up to 200, which was like a 35% run. That's when I went full degen on sub accounts, and we turned that 10K into 116 and then sold most of it here. And I wanted to go short, but I had my emotions in me. I thought we were going to retest this. I never went short, kind of missed that. And then we've been down only ever since. So that was Christmas. Now, paying attention to Comet Coloring, you can see, okay, our green bullish momentum, this kind of very weak candle ended up closing red, actually, 195 for the daily, and then we just shot down to 177 instantly. I know that was a dark day. But as you can see here, if this daily, it closes in less than 3 hours, this is high time frame resistance. We're meeting the downtrend once again, which we haven't really treated it as resistance since January 12th when we were still at 145. So this is a big level, but the candle has not been green since here, December 27th. So, okay, what does the indicator tell you? It's showing that, market sentiment is starting to lean more bullish here. Doesn't mean you go max long up here when we're literally at the downtrend. We haven't broken above it yet. You kind of want to see something like that first before, it's okay to go long higher than right here. Yeah, you won't have as good of an entry for a move up, but you have more confirmation and more confidence that you're actually going to go up here. You know what I mean? So hopefully that helps. So what do I do with the indicator? I'm always really looking at it on a daily time frame, or 2 hour is one of my sweet spots. The 4 hour as well. The daily just tells a really big story. So this is for Solana. I'll have a look at a few others as well. The 4 hour is my real go-to. So let's see what it says. Whoops. Okay, we are on slow mode, correct? Yeah. So as you can see, we broke below the belt here, kind of broke above it. We were starting to get bullish here because we were treating as support for a minute, you know, ended up failing. We were retesting the trend here. My downtrend to support, we were holding it for a little bit from the 17th to the 20th. Had that nice move up into my daily supply. And it was an instant reject also where the belt was. So that was a signal to short. We came back up, closed green above the belt, then instantly rejected, way back into the downtrend. So everything turned bullish. We had that really shitty couple days. Ended up bottoming around 88. And I had, we were instantly bouncing, and I had said, I don't think 88. I think we're going to go a little bit below that trend. And I placed bids at 81, 83, 84, and 85. And I woke up and they all got filled, even the 81 or the 82 one. So that was great. That's how I got my great entry for Solana. Just kind of planning that those lows would get taken out because shit was so bearish. Instead of trying to go long here at 90, I was like, oh, I'm just going to wait. And little did they do, took out that low, started treating that low as support. 87, I told everyone to get back in. Here we are. So now looking at this, okay, if you were scalping, you could have went short when it tapped it, 108 and came down to 105, still 2-3% profits. It all depends on what your trading strategy is, guys. Whether you like to kind of wait for high time frame swings, aiming at different levels, or if you're just kind of looking for quick profit. Either way, the 4 hour is a great source of information to look for when you're using the asteroids belt. So this candle was shitty, came up, pretty much got sold the fuck out from 114 all the way down. And this current 4 hour, we're looking for it again. So, bullish momentum is there. Uh, I do like that we're not instantly rejecting. Like, looking at this, I would have expected it to come back down probably to the Comet Coloring line, 97. If we were leaning bearish, that's what it would have done, because that candle there gives plenty of reason for bears to short. But so they're just messing with you, going up, retesting this trend. This could possibly be a short here. Um, but everything looks pretty strong. It's just really up to you. Risk isn't high. You could just put your stop loss either directly above that wick, which is like 2%. Are you willing to risk 2% move against you? And you could just put your target probably, either you want to be aggressive, $90, or conservative. You could probably put it right where this Comet Coloring line is, like the top of this wick. So we kind of come back down here. You know what I mean? Or literally, depends, 5%. 5%, if it goes down to 106, that's still great, for a short. So not really for scalping, more for using your account with low leverage and just like direct cost averaging into positions. It just kind of gives you an idea of where it's going. So whenever we're above, we're eventually going to come back down. You guys, you could go off fibs or, past levels that you can create. Let's see, off the top of this wick, you can just see how prices reacted to that level here. And, that's just how easy it is, when you're trading based off price action or just trying to analyze a chart. Um, let's see. I didn't go over the settings yet. There's 3 different settings for the asteroids belt. I'll go over that in a moment. Let's kind of look for like opportunities where you kind of see where, when we're below it, we're eventually going to come back up and retest. So I was posting that. I forget. Wild Type said something. I posted a 12-hour chart for Solana. So this is the asteroids belt in the 12-hour. Also works really well. My main go-tos when I'm looking for, planning a strategy for high time frame is 4-hour, 12, and daily. So as you can see, um, this entire run up from, what was that? July, August, we never tapped it at all. So I'll go over the other settings on how it will allow you in a moment. But I want to go over this first. So here, slow mode's always most accurate for me. Like I said, a very strong bullish trend bouncing off the top is the bottom. So that's when, I believe, November, when I had that $250,000 PNL trade when I was going long here at 181. Like I said, that was the bottom. We had that nice run up to 200. I took some profit. Because that candle was kind of shitty, I expected we would run the lows again, which we did. Stop triggered everyone from 182, bottomed literally here, and then we had the run up from 180 to 240. So that's just how the belt, can make you a lot of money. I used the belt. My thesis was this is the bottom. It's bouncing right off here. We also have support here. And I made $250,000 off of going off of that. So just, for everyone trying to think about it, I don't think he charges a lot. You could do a lifetime membership, 6-month, or a monthly membership for like $50. So it's definitely worth it. And it includes all of his indicators, not just Asteroids Bell. I think he has 9 total. He has videos on how to use all of them as well. Like this one is Space Time Profile Advanced. I don't really know how to use it. I think it just kind of shows, like, give it a second to load. It just kind of gives you levels where, if you don't want to draw lines yourself. Works out pretty well. And then it has these little bars here that show like how long, how much volume there was, and how long during this candle, like where was price mostly. So price was mostly up here. It spent a little bit time, wicked all the way back up, etc. I don't really use that. You guys don't see that very often in my charts, but it is included in that package, and you can watch his video on YouTube on how to use it. This video is going to be strictly for Asteroids Belt and Comet Coloring, like I said, which is fairly easy to explain. Just you're trading based off momentum, flipped red, yellow, more red. So it's really the line that is a great algorithm. Like in this bear trend, as you can see on this 12-hour for Solana, every time it tapped it was a short. Until here, we finally turned green. We are above it now. So my target, we are at high time frame resistance. We are, at the downtrend as well, which we are rejecting currently. But if we did get a nice pump to here, see, now this level would be right where it would meet it, like 121, 120. That's where I would kind of want to start getting into a short. Maybe it goes a little bit higher, you know what I mean? And I would place, okay, a stop loss. Let's see, this wick here. I'll place it right above 127, or maybe a little bit above 130 if you're like, it's really up to you. You can cut it at any time, but that's just in case. Now, I'm always using like my main account with 3x leverage recently, guys. I haven't really been doing any degen longs. Just trying to, capital preservation. When you have enough money in your account, I don't know if you guys have 10K, 5K, 20K, whatever. I know it's like, oh, I could just create a sub account with like $500 and go 20x, which is great if that works for you. But in my experience, um, that's just even more risky than using your whole account with a 3x. Only because your leverage is higher, your risk of losing that money you were willing to risk is much greater. And so I always recommend, if you have a 10, 20K in your trading account, to just stick with that, use that as your collateral and use like 3x leverage or even less. You don't have, it's the patient game in this. It's not like no one ever scalps their way to riches every single day. It's the guys who are going long, their risk is low because they're using low leverage, but they have the collateral and they're willing to withstand. So say you went, um, sorry, long like I did down here, but you weren't sure where to get in, wherever you wanted to get in on the trend, even though it wicked below it a couple times. For using 3x leverage, it didn't matter. You were willing to withstand the 7 days of shitty price action of you making a bunch of money, coming back down your entry. I mean, you can manage it like I do, where I take 40% off, etc., add it back on. But let's say, for the sake of it, that you didn't at all, you didn't touch it at all. Eventually, it pumped. So you could put your stop loss right below here. It's 10%, which is a lot, but you don't have to go all in at once. Same strategy, direct cost average in. But if you're using 2x, 3x, like that's nowhere close to even liquidating you. You know what I mean? Some of the best trades I've ever had have been in the red in the beginning. You know what I mean? Um, it's hard to catch the exact bottom. Rarely anyone ever does. It's the guys who know it's a good time to buy. They're planning ahead of time. They're convinced. Their conviction rate is high, and they stick through it until this nice, just 3 legs. Everything can change in 36 hours. So, for example, up 25% from that trend. I know I've made quite a bit of money as well. I'm not going to close it. I closed 90% of it. I intend on adding it back on. You know, maybe down here at 104. This would be a good area. I would want this to be treated as support now because there's two equal highs around 105. We finally smashed through it, so I want to flip that level of support if we do reject this downtrend. Say we don't reject it and we pump straight through it, then I want to retest this level as support the same way I would this one as confirmation to add that back on. So that's just kind of my strategy where I'm de-risking here at resistance and willing to buy it back higher um, rather than risk it losing that profit there. If that makes sense. Um, so I didn't go over normal and fast mode. So there's three different settings. Whoops. For Asteroids Belt. What do you do, Barney, when it's way above the trend? um, you know what I mean? And, where's my entry? First off, I want to go over this right here. So this was our price action before it broke all-time high in August. Kind of see it, how it was treating this top as resistance right around 43. Came back down. June, this was the bear market, $20. Came back up, retested. So it broke into the belt, kind of whatever. This was the first tap of the midline since beginning of June. Rejected, came down, kind of treated as support, but ended up failing. This candle right here, after it failed, you can see it wicked up into it, rejected and closed red, even more bearish. So it went from 27 back down to 22. This is where I longed. I didn't have the Asteroids belt back then, but this is where, the trade that got me famous from $800 to 200K. I longed July 21st at $23, like 22.80 at 20x leverage with an $800 account. And I converted the $800 into Cope, which is a shit coin now, but I bought it at 50 cents and it went up to like $5. So as that was going up, my collateral was increasing plus my PNL. I managed the trade, took a lot of profit at like 30, added it back on, took more profit 36, whatever. I could go into that as well on a different video. But then you can see, okay, it was red for so long, for like 3 months, broke above it, and then started treating the upper level of support. That was your buy signal. So if you literally just long Solana at 38 there, you could still be long, and it never came anywhere close to your entry. So that's the beauty of, in the future, using this. It's a very useful indicator. You could still be long from July and still be up 3x. Think of it that way. For 5x, I'm sorry. So for the settings, let's stick to the program here. So there's slow. You can change the colors if you want. Style, I guess it's just, I never even mess with that. Don't mess with that. Really all you're going to have to do is either change the color, set the aggregator either to 15 or 25. I think the standard it comes with is 25. I have mine a little bit lower. Not really any reason why. I just never really switched it back, and it works well. So there's slow, normal, and fast. So like I said, what do you do when it's way above it and you want to see it on high time frame? Yeah, you could go down to like an hourly, 2 hour, and it'll obviously be within the belt or close to it. But when you're on these high time frames, what do? So you can switch it to normal. Let's see what it does. All right, so normal tells it a little bit of a different story. Still the same premise. Bouncing off the top is a very bullish trend. Bouncing off the medium is, medium bullish, I guess, and the lower level will always be the bottom. So here we had that nice run up. Belt didn't really help you here. I'll go into fast mode and we'll see if it does in a moment. Came back down, This was a good area to buy. It showed you it went a little bit lower. It's not always going to be perfect like it was on the slow mode daily I showed you moments ago. But it's a decent time to buy. Start averaging in low leverage. It pumped from here 20%. It looks like a little bit, but really 20% is a fuck ton. Even if you're 3x leverage, 20K. Um, for example, let's say you guys have 20K in your account, 3x leverage, $60,000 USD position. It pumps 20%. That is 12 grand. So you almost have doubled your account, and you're not really. It's not really about the account, just about the position size in that case. Because 12 grand is a lot of fucking money to a lot of people, even me. Um, so yeah, hopefully that helps you understand a little bit. So this was a little pennant I had, high time frame. You can see all I did was drag from here to here and from these lows to these lows. And you can see kind of how it broke it here, started treating as resistance. I thought it was going to come back up here, but it didn't. Um, but yeah, okay. So started trading the upper level of support again back in mid-October. Had that nice run up to a new all-time high. So could have went long here, low leverage, held it. Could have taken profit here if you wanted, but if it went up, I don't even know what that is. From 150 to 260, it pumped 60%. So it's another example of how the asteroids belt will help you when you are paying attention on a high time frame. So what do you do here? You can't really get an entry. You can switch it to fast mode. I don't really like fast mode. I rarely ever use it. Um, I spend 90% of my time using slow mode, and every now and then I'll check normal. But I'm always looking at slow, and all my charts always have slow. But if you look at it on fast, you can see it kind of shows you a little bit of a different story. So it wasn't green the whole way up. It turned red here. This was the bottom. Could have longed it from 138 to 170. That was the top. Take profit short. Same thing. You could have maybe went long here, but you had your stop loss right below the wick. Got stopped out, whatever. I don't like fast mode, especially when you see these little intertwines here and shit. But it's there, and if you like it, you can use it. I'm always on slow, just so you guys know. Every chart I post is slow. Yeah, so hopefully this was helpful. I don't want to make it too long, so you guys don't even want to fucking watch it. Uh, but yeah, I guess I will also incorporate kind of like some Bitcoin in here as well. I use Solana for the entire thing. All right, but this is the Bitcoin 12 hour. I know there's a lot of fucking lines everywhere, but they're all meaningful. You can see here, reject. That was the 52K, whatever. Downtrend we've had since this crash. We're ranging right here and now. I'm expecting a tap of here around 40K. If we do get 40, 41K, that is short territory, unless we flip this trend. So it'd be nice if we broke out of it. Rejected 41, but came down and started treating this as support, and then something like that would be nice to get back into those 40Ks. But okay, so 12 hour, you can see rejected it here. We haven't been anywhere near it since then, Christmas. So like I said, it's always a matter of time. It will come back into here. I don't know if we make another round, sweep of the lows, but things are starting to go more bullish. I know I posted yesterday using the Comet Coloring indicator that we've had our first green daily. It wasn't Bitcoin, it was actual USD, which is older. We wicked all the way down to 36.7, which was my support I was telling you guys about. Instant bounce. We're up 2K since. But that was the first green Comet Coloring daily close since that awful day, December 27th. So Comet Coloring, also very useful. They work amazingly together. If you have Asteroids Belt, make sure you have Comet Coloring on as well. So the daily, this is the Comet Coloring line. We haven't been anywhere near it since these, same day, 27th. So it gives you nice targets to either to pay attention to either short, or if you're long, to take profit. They're very helpful. I highly recommend, everyone in this group gets it. It's very inexpensive. The amount of money you can make, uh, you know, learning how to use it greatly outweighs the $50 a month, or the lifetime membership, whatever you want to do. So yeah, Bitcoin, still thinking we do something like this would be nice. Maybe we come back in and range in here, going into the weekend or for the rest of the week. It really just depends. Like I said, 39.2K is my resistance, which whoops, I hate when that happens, man. Which we tapped previous 4 hour. These don't look great, but this one does. I mean, this is the 4 hour asteroids belt. Look how beautifully it could have helped you this whole time. Came up, rejected. Here at 46K, you would have caught that short. You know, take profit wherever you will, wherever your other targets were. Mine obviously were this range from 41 to 42.6. So that would have been where I would have taken profit if I caught the short. Came back up, tapped it, instant, rejection. Kind of followed it for a day or two. Reject. Nice daily close or a 4 hour close. Oh no, we just fucked you. That was a bull trap. So it doesn't always work. I mean, that looks bullish as fuck to anyone looking at it before you see these ones. Um, but yeah, obviously you have to be aware of the market and not go max long after you've seen it all like go up here. If you went, you see it break out of this trend, you could have went long and still taken profit, like a 2-3% pump. Once you saw this candle, get out. Because I know that happened pretty quickly, especially when it got out. It broke back below the belt. That's where your stop should have been, 42.3, if you were long. And there you go. So now, yeah, I like this 4 hour close. You close like that, and that looks decent. Still thinking we get a retest of this downtrend, as we have time and time again since December. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. I will probably go either live or make another video for like chart requests and market sentiment. I just kind of wanted this video to be strictly for Asteroids Belt. Um, it takes a long time for it to work. See, for looks, the 4 hour isn't going to work because it's such a new coin. You'd have to go on like the 15-minute to get something. Yeah, there you go. Just see how perfectly this will help you trade, man. So broke above the belt, retest the support. You could have went long here, but if you weren't taking profit, it's still a 3%, 4% pump. If you sold here, you would have seen the equal highs reject. You could have sold, came back down, midline, long, broke back out of again. Now you're starting to see we're holding the upper level of support. So it's great for scalping. You just have to be aggressive with taking profit because, as you can see, it was holding a support, and then all of a sudden, let's say this one rejection right here, that's a clear short signal. Clear short. Came up, reject. To go short. You could have caught that entire move down. 487. You could have taken profit there, but let's say it came all the way down like the midline of these lows, it was 15%. So the key to make money in this market is to not scalp your way, but to catch moves like that. And this indicator will help you do that. As you can see, came up. Now here, you probably would have wanted to short again. Came up, rejected, but then you saw that second 15-minute. started treating it as support, came up. You probably definitely want to short here. I would have, but that's why you don't go all in at once. You know what I mean? So you see that, if you were aggressive in taking profit, 460 down to 448 is still like 2% profit. And if you're leveraged, it's more than that. But you can just wait, see, it came up again, support right here, and look at that. Beautiful. So it's trending up. It's always going to come down to retest this line, the very least retest this line. It's something to know when you're using this. Comes down, ends up being the ultimate buying opportunity. 460 could have went long. You saw it. You went long, up 21%. Currently, same thing. 20K, 3x leverage, 20%. That is 12 grand profit. That is how you make money in crypto trading. Getting these entries, using indicators like this to help you spot them, and holding it for those swing moves. So hopefully this was helpful. If there's anything I didn't cover and you guys still have questions, feel free to DM me or just post it in the Discord, and I can either answer it for you or make another video if that'll help. Like trying to scalp with it in active, I might do that, maybe a little challenge where we just take a day where price action isn't totally shitty. Honestly, today would have been a great day. And we trade this like as low as we possibly can on time frame, like 5 minute, to kind of give you. It'll be like scalps that I only hold for like either 5 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, etc. Not really aiming on moves like this. It would be nice, but it's kind of like trying to play from the um, bottom to the top, or if it goes a little bit above, shorting it down to the here again. Weak candle, short, comes back down. Same thing. There you go. Look at that. Long the bottom, 460, now at 560. Yeah, pretty amazing. Spaceman's a fucking genius. If you guys haven't bought this yet, I strongly encourage you to. It's going to help you in this group tremendously if you've been looking for uh, some sort of indicator to give you an edge. Asteroids Belt certainly does give you that edge, and he does include all of his other indicators. I can always make a video on them too when I start using them. But Comet Coloring and Asteroids Belt together are a huge moneymaker. You're gonna make way more than the $50. So yeah, he's a good dude too. He'll answer you if you have any questions, and he has YouTube videos on tutorials on how to use each one. So hopefully this video was helpful, guys. I'm gonna post it shortly, and yeah, if you have any questions, DM me.